Hi guys, in this video I will show you the process behind creating my holographic card cat and slave effect, and I will also show you how to achieve that pretty effect when you turn the card around. We will be using shader graph to accomplish this, and soon I will demonstrate how to achieve the same effect using HLSL. I must clarify that in this video I will only be showing the process behind the color hologram. Remember, you can take a look at my Patreon when you could find all the original resources, shaders, codes, and assets. In a future video, I will discuss how to achieve the fake theft effect that the cat has over the card, so let's start. Alright, I have my card here, and as you can see, it consists of 3 sprites, ordered inside the game object, the card base, and 2 floating posters. Now, let me show you what I will use to bring color and life to this card. In this case, the 2 sprites of the floating poster. 1 mask. This will allow us to define the edges of the card. The base texture. We will also use a stirred texture to add an interesting effect at the end of the video. Finally, we need 2 textures that we will use as a color base. Next, let's create a new lit shader graph file and name it HoloCard. Open the shader file, and the first thing we will do is add texture so that we can add color to our card. Connect the texture to the emission channel. In my case, I want my shader to handle transparency because my card edges are rounded. To achieve this, I need to set the shader surface to transparent instead of opaque. Connect the alpha channels. Assign a black color to the base color and save the shader. Let's go back to the Unity editor and create a material using our current shader. As you can see, it looks completely white. This is because we haven't assigned any texture yet. Let's add our base color texture. Now we will create our color layers. Again, let's create a sample texture 2D node. Add its respective asset texture to the node. From the Unity inspector, assign the color texture to this node, in this case the color texture. Create a new blend node. This will merge both textures and turn them into one. Connect the base texture on the first input and not the texture we are going to use for the colors on the second input. Assign any blending mode you want. In my case, I will try with touch. And again, connect the results to the emission channel. Once saved, let's go back to the editor. Again, we have to assign the one texture to our color channel. Now we can observe the blend between both textures. We can also see that the backside of our card is not visible. To fix this, just go back to the shader and check two-sided. This allows us to see both sides of the face. The card is now visible from both sides. Let's go back to the shader. We're going to distort the colors. Create a simple noise node and reassign its value to 20. You could change that number later. Next, we're going to add a tiling and offset node and connect the simple noise node to the offset node. Then connect the result to the UV input of the texture. This will enable us to distort the color texture. I will create a float value, turn it into a property, and name it distortion amount. With this, I will have control over the distortion scale of our color texture. Now, we can adjust the distortion of our colors from the Unity inspector window. However, our card doesn't have any kind of movement effect other than distortion. To add movement to the texture, add a new tiling and offset node. Connect it to the simple noise node, and we're going to add a new view direction node. Change it to tangent view space and connect it to the offset. If we save our shader and go back to the scene, we are going to see that if you move the card to the camera, the texture scrolls with the movement. This effect is commonly known as the parallax effect. You can also change the distort amount to find different effects. And well, you could pause the video at this point since this covers the effects we're aiming for. However, I would like to show you a few more tips. To manage the texture scroll, we will assign a float value named offset amount. Next, we will multiply the view direction node by this new value. Connect the results. Now we can adjust both the scroll and the distortion amount of our card. Play with these two values to find the different results. One detail that annoys me is that the edge of the car is being affected by the color texture. I only want the inner part of the car to be affected, but it's an easy fix. We will create a mask to limit the space where our texture color will affect the card. Let's multiply this new texture, our mask, with the result of the color texture. Then connect the results to blend the node again. If we save now and go to the scene, we will notice that nothing has changed. We need to assign our mask texture to the material. The mask is black and white texture, where the white section represents the area where the color will be present. On the other hand, the black zone will ignore the color. Therefore, the size of the mask must match the size of the card. Once we assign the mask texture, the color will no longer affect the card edges. To finish this, I will add one final detail. I will create a cube map and assign it to the story texture that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Increase the texture resolution and assign the same texture in every position. Return to the shader and add a sample cube map and a cube map asset. Transform it into a property to assign the cube map file that we just created in the project. Remember, this is not a common texture, and we need these special nodes to connect these kind of files in the right way. Add a new blend node and merge the previous results with the new cube map. Connect the merge to the emission channel and save the shader. You will notice that our card looks different, and we need to assign the cube map asset to the material, but this greatly distorts the color gamut. To fix this, I will change the blending modes I'm using. Our card is looking good again, but the stars are barely visible on the card. We're going to add the same scroll effect that we used on the color texture. Add a view direction node and to connect it to the sample cube map in the tangent mode. Now, we can see those white points floating around our card. With this, you already have a shader that allows you to change its texture, blending modes, distortion, and movement. Create different visual effects by experimenting with the options you already have. We can finish the video now. Remember, you can take a look at my Patreon when you could find all the original resources, shaders, codes, and assets. I will include links to every site in the description. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!